What is going on, fish? Welcome back to your favorite pond, the Coy Pond, episode 68. How about them apples? We're back at it again, joined with my favorite guy, your favorite guy to see on this podcast. Sorry, Matt and Jason. It's K-Dog, joining me once again for another week of the Coy Pond.
Coffee up.
Yeah, I already had a pot, and I'm drinking this on top of it.
Wahoo.
Hey, might as well. No free sponsors.
Bring on the heart palpitations, huh?
Oh, yeah. Let's see if I make it through the night. As always, ladies and gentlemen, you know you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and don't forget to leave your question on SpeakPipe. And don't forget, the store is now live. Look in the description for the link. Buy yourself the next finest piece of apparel you've ever seen in your life. And that's all I've got for intros. Appreciate all the love on the last video. That one did really well. And this week, we're going to be basically just talking about team needs, kind of, where they're at, looking forward to the draft. We got a couple little news things to talk about first, and, of course, I have found some funny names that will be in the Combine this year to look forward to see if your team gets them. Always a fun thing to see.
Definitely.
Not most ridiculous names, because that sounds mean.
Yeah.
There's exciting names. There's names like General Booty that you just don't expect to see sometimes. And you know what? Frankly, some of those jerseys go hard. Shout out Will Clapp that was on the Chargers 2 years ago. Always a legend in my heart. I still have your jersey. Nevertheless, first little bit of news. We're going to call this Myth Blasters because copyright infringement. And on top of that, of last week's episode, a recent myth that came out is Gronkowski to return to the NFL. Now, I think I saw a lot of Bengals fans getting excited about that, as you should, as any NFL team should, if Gronkowski was to come out of retirement. There's no doubt I'm sure he could still pass block, and he would not be in the bottom 16 tight ends of tight blocking.
Right.
Or however you want to say that.
Yeah, not a chance.
Now, like any retired player, you don't forget the last season of their career. Very consistent target, probably would be there to catch a couple balls, but also, maybe he doesn't have the wheels that he used to have at this point. He looked a little bit like Iron Man, if you remember the end of his career with Tampa Bay. Bless his heart, amazing tight end. Not trying to take away from that.
No.
That myth has been debunked. He, I believe, just got back from Mexico, according to sources, or he was on vacation in Japan. He was on vacation somewhere, and he just commented on how he thought it was funny that more people know his life than he does. He has no interest in coming out of retirement. As I would imagine the ad revenue, I can't imagine why he'd want to go get beat up again.
Right.
And even chance that career
to
the slightest. So that's out of the way. Myth debunked. Sorry, Bengals fans. However, there is a better chance that J.J. Watt comes to play for the Bengals.
Whoa.
He he owns a team in England, FC Burnley, I think it is. I'll throw the whatever one officially is up. Their goalkeeper DM'd him on Instagram a couple months ago, maybe, a little bit ago, and asked if he would come back and play for the Bengals, come out of retirement and play for the Bengals if he didn't give up another goal the rest of the season. They have about 12 or 13 games left in that soccer league's schedule, and he has not let up a goal since then.
Interesting.
There's maybe 15 to 20 games he's played where he has not let up a goal, which is an insane feat for any goalie.
Wow.
But he's commented on it now recently saying, I would respect that. That is an insane statistic. Who knows if the Bengals would actually make that work? But you have a better chance of getting J.J. Watt than Gronkowski, just to throw that out there. So it's not all doom and gloom and Cincy by any means.
Right.
Last bit of news. The NFL, as always, is going to be going over overtime rules. You know how we all hate how the regular season overtime rules don't match the playoff overtime rules. They're looking into making them the same and matching overtime in the postseason, where both teams get a chance.
Oh.
Opposed to, whoever wins the coin toss during the regular season. So, exciting things. Yeah, we'll keep our head to the ground on that stuff.
Yeah.
I would personally love for it to be uniform, whether it's one or the other.
Seems to make sense, right?
Yeah, and definitely I would just automatically, my opinion is definitely they should just make it so that both teams get a chance regardless, and it doesn't come down to just the coin toss. Just my opinion, though. We'll have to see what happens.
Right on.
Regardless. Let's get into some NFL team needs.
Ooh. Well, we need to give a shout out here to Pro Football Network's Mock Draft Simulator.
Oh, yeah.
It is a wonderful site.
Yep.
That is free.
Yes. Even better.
Yeah, even better. So you have to say at the top of this draft this year, you got the Titans, the Browns, and the Giants.
Woof.
And you have 2 Deion Sanders players.
That is true.
Travis Hunter and his son Sanders, the quarterback.
Yep.
Shedeur Sanders. So it's going to be very interesting to see how does Deion's influence the top 3 teams.
It will be interesting to see that.
So, number 1, Tennessee, we'd all know needs a quarterback.
Without a doubt. Will Levis is not the answer.
We know that they also need offensive tackle.
A team in general, to be honest.
A team in general, yes.
But no
yes.
doubt a tackle.
Not to pick on the Titans too much, but
No.
Quarterback, offensive tackle, edge, receiver, and corner.
Yeah, A.J. Brown, obviously not there.
Yeah.
Trying to think of some of the other. Hopkins? He went to the Chiefs.
Yeah,
so
he
a lot
left.
of the prospects they had, gone.
Yeah, that Tony Pollard running the ball.
Yeah, Samaje Harris. I can't remember his name now.
Yeah.
Tajay Spears.
That's it.
That's what I was thinking of.
So, they really can benefit from anything that's available in the top of this draft class. And I would imagine that one of the 2 Colorado players would wind up there.
Mm-hmm.
But again, the Titans definitely need a quarterback. They don't have it. They're getting ready to build a new stadium down there.
Right.
So it would be great to have,
someone's picture to put up.
That's right.
New stadium, new quarterback.
Yep.
Kind of what the Chargers did.
Yep.
Just to rally around, because that team has been down in the dumps for a couple years now.
Gotta believe they have some cap space too. So maybe when we get into our discussion about free agency, who's got what left,
right?
We could kind of talk about some of the needs then too. But
without a doubt.
But certainly there's plenty to help the Titans in this draft, especially at the top.
To be honest, they're back kind of where the Browns have been, where it's like it doesn't seem like you can go wrong, and somehow they pick the 1 out of 32 guys that doesn't work out for obvious reasons.
All right, we got number 2, right?
Yes.
So let's just say that,
for sake of argument.
Yeah. So the Browns, we know they need a quarterback.
Without a doubt.
They almost need the same thing, except the Browns are listed here needing a running back too.
Now that's interesting.
But they quarterback, offensive lineman, offensive tackle, receiver, corner, and running back.
Yeah, need a little bit of everything. Definitely offensively. You see Myles Garrett, some of those corners. The Browns had a great defense last year and
pretty
2
good,
years ago. I mean, it's clear that oh my God, Watson.
Yeah,
that trade just
That's done.
Just done.
Yeah, it's
Done.
over. So, I would kind of imagine if Deion did not want the Colorado players to go to one team in the top 3, I would speculate the Browns are the team he wouldn't want them to go to.
There is nothing exciting at Cleveland.
So, that's something to keep in mind.
It is. It is. So, in that case, you're going to say Cameron Ward is who ends up going there.
Yep. I'm gonna. I mean, I guess we could just talk about what we're filling in here along as we go.
Well,
do in a future show.
What?
You want to talk about who we're putting in here, or do that in a future show?
We can do that now, since we're going to be talking about it anyway.
So we had Travis Hunter first, just because it really fills 2 needs. He'll probably play some receiver too, I would bet.
Yes.
And he's really, in my opinion, the most talented athlete in the whole draft.
Fair.
So Tennessee goes with a player that can do 2 things. Why not?
Yeah.
Best player. Cam Ward, quarterback from Miami, goes to the Browns because I just don't see Shedeur Sanders going there.
Yeah.
I could definitely see Sanders going next to the Giants at 3. And they need a quarterback. They need offensive line. They need, all that stuff. But they're going to go with the playmaker here.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones is gone.
It feels like it's hard to pass that up with what was the quarterback carousel of the New York Giants last year.
It's so right. Such a mess, right?
Especially when you also think the head coach, Dabble, I believe, is probably...
Brian Dable, I think.
Yeah.
Or something.
Is probably losing his mind because that contract cannot be there much longer.
Yeah.
He went from the Bills to the Giants. The Giants had very limited success, if any, depending on what your argument would be there.
Yeah.
If I'm him, I'm thinking maybe I like being a coordinator on a good team opposed to a head coach on a team that just can't get it working.
Yeah, definitely so.
Not to deep dive the Giants, but it's just sad.
Patriots are 4th. Need some help. Offensive line, tackle, guard, edge rusher, receiver, cornerback.
Yeah.
Best player still on the list at this point is Abdul Carter from Penn State, the edge rusher.
Yep, and Mike Vrabel's back. He's going to play in the trenches football. He's going to take I would assume, a view that we need to build things up the right way, assuming you rally around Drake May and just hope that he can do something and keep it together.
Yeah, totally so. Got Jacksonville 5th. We've got Liam Cohen there.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to make Trevor Lawrence better.
Yeah.
So really, the needs here are tackle, guard, cornerback, defensive tackle, wide receiver.
Right.
You can make a couple different picks here.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen Liam Cohen full force yet to know what he would lean. Rashawn Khan, the owner of the Jaguars, I don't think he's not gonna say anything. So it's gonna be between the general manager, I bet, and Liam Cohen.
Yep.
Who they recently signed. I can't remember what his name was, but
and your top 3 players on the board here, according to this list, Mason Graham, defensive tackle, Michigan, McMillan, receiver from Arizona, and offensive tackle Will Campbell from LSU. So they can really go any one of those. So you have a call.
Just keep it interesting because their defense has been working. Let's go Will Campbell.
Okay.
Because, Trevor Lawrence gets hurt. Your immediate thought is we need to protect this guy, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. If Liam Cohen's a quarterback guy, I want to help Trevor Lawrence out.
Yep.
He has Gabe Davis. They have ETN, a couple other things. I'm thinking you might want to spruce that offensive tackle up a little bit.
Makes a lot of sense.
Offensive line, sorry.
No, makes a lot of sense. Raiders are up next at 6. Quarterback, running back, receiver, safety, and D tackle.
Talk about needing a team.
And again, really all those players, except for a quarterback, are available here in the next 4 picks.
I mean, I can't. This is clearly a way too early mock draft. We're doing this for fun. Don't take this too seriously. Who knows if Wilkerson, the dual piece to Max Crosby last season, if he's still there or not from the Dolphins, I don't know.
Yep.
My hunch would be you almost have to go wide receiver in this position if you're the Raiders because there wasn't much there after Devontae Adams left.
Yeah.
From what I can remember, and I might be remembering it wrong, I'm not a salty Chargers fan. Last year was just as bad for them. But I would almost skip over defensive tackle knowing that.
Yeah.
Now, maybe you load up on defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Maybe you firm up the trenches. I'm going to say you Ashton Genty's there too.
Yeah, there's the other one. Let's think about Tom Brady involved here now.
Yes.
So Tom Brady, and let's go to the Buccaneers a little bit because the player, I think the new GM president is from the Buccaneers too.
Right, he is.
So, are they trench guys? Are they skill position guys?
And,
hard to say.
I don't know. I think, personally, I believe the trenches are how you have to do it, so that's where I'm going to lean. But when you think about Tom Brady, a lot of those weapons were only there because Tom Brady was great.
He made him good.
And no doubt, Julian Edelman, people of that nature, Gronkowski, amazing players. Yeah. But it was never a focus in the draft, and that's obviously a part of Bill Belichick's mindset as well.
Right.
I mean, can you pass up on Mason Graham? I don't know, stock-wise, if you have any idea if he's
pretty good. So he's a dominating dude.
Damn.
I probably would take him, but I could see McMillan or Genty being the pick here.
Let's keep it interesting and go defensive tackle. Let's go Mason Graham.
All right.
Just to make this a little bit more interesting.
All right. So now we move on to the Jets.
Yes.
Quarterback, D tackle, O tackle, edge, and cornerback.
You need a little bit of everything here.
Yep. And we have a good edge, Mikael Williams from Georgia.
Yeah.
We've got James Pierce from Tennessee, really good edge rusher too. A little bit thin as far as what they need. Will Johnson, cornerback, great cornerback from Michigan. So there's some options there.
That's a tough one too because wide receiver, you got that covered. Ashton Genty, you don't need because you've got Breece Hall and the other guy.
Yeah, I forget his name too.
Christ, it hasn't been that long.
No,
but you start looking and it's almost like Mikael Williams, maybe.
That's kind of where I'm leaning.
I think you'd have to.
Yeah.
Let's just do it for the fun of it.
I'm leaning that way. All right, the Panthers. Safety, center, corner, edge, and quarterback. So best player on the board is Malachi Starks from
Yeah.
Georgia, safety.
Or do they go with...
Will Johnson right behind there, the corner from Michigan.
Yeah. I'm looking at the Panthers. I'm also thinking you liked Bryce Young. It got pretty loud about giving him something to throw to.
Yeah.
Adam Thielen is gonna, he's a human. At some point, he has to go. I don't think... kudos to him for as long as he had to do it.
Yeah.
But other than that, they have, Xavier Legette.
Right.
Adam Thielen, that's about it.
McMillan right here is a 6.
McMillan's already
Receiver.
fallen a little bit, given needs.
Let's go that way.
You want to try that? Just keep us interested?
Playmaker. I like it. You could totally make that argument.
Especially new owner. He might throw a drink at the GM if they don't take a weapon.
We got the Saints up next at 9. Edge rusher, tackle, guard on the O-line, receiver, and quarterback. Again, no quarterbacks are around here.
And, they're not going to take Genty when you have Alvin Kamara.
I wouldn't think so.
I wouldn't assume so. I guess me saying they wouldn't is crazy this early in the year, but...
Does Kellen Moore have now the Eagles' philosophy of trench building?
I would assume.
O-line, D-line.
I mean,
maybe
Cowboys a little bit, Chargers a little bit.
So
not really with the Chargers, but
James Pierce, edge rusher from Tennessee, is probably an option.
Yeah.
Kelvin Banks, offensive tackle from Texas, probably an option.
God,
could be Tyler Booker, offensive guard from Alabama. So I would probably say one of those would be my hunch.
You want to go James Pierce?
Let's do that.
Just cause.
All right, the Bears.
Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson.
New guy in town.
Yep. And we know that Caleb Williams is going to get big focus here.
Caleb Williams, big focus. So, yeah, I mean.
We know no matter what, he's expected big things, and he's been dissed, right?
He has been.
In the Offensive Rookie of the Year voting, I think he finished 5th. He wasn't even 2nd.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's true.
I have no idea.
Yeah, so Jade Daniels was 1, and it had 4 other players. I think he got 2 5th-place votes.
Damn.
And so, I mean, those are the facts.
Right.
And Caleb Williams is clearly a tough competitor.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to piss him off.
Well, yeah, but he had as many bad games as he had great games, too.
Yeah.
So it's like, for every time he threw for under 100 yards, he threw for over 350 in the same game.
You say as many good as bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They split, and they were
I agree with you.
2 opposite ends. But you're right. Caleb Williams is definitely the reason Ben Johnson came to Chicago.
No doubt.
Who knows what else might have played into that.
Oh, yeah.
But,
it's exciting stuff.
Right. You've got, what's his name, tight end at the Bears? Oh, my God.
Kate Otten? No, that's Tampa
Buccaneers. Bay. Oh, my God. They've got a classic guy at the Bears. Not Zach Ertz, because that's Commanders. Oh, my God. Well, it doesn't matter, regardless.
Sure. So we're talking offensive tackle and guard, obviously, and center.
Yep.
Obviously, you're going to protect your investment. You're going to take defensive tackle or edge as the other 2 team needs there. So
I kind of, personally, I'm thinking they might reach to save face to protect Caleb Williams and grab Kelvin Banks.
Yep.
And, maybe that isn't the move that the people want, but frankly, when you have DJ Moore and a couple of the other guys there.
I like that pick.
I say we do it.
And yeah, exactly right. All right, now we have the Niners. Niners need offensive guard, tackle, cornerback, edge, and linebacker.
Yeah.
We see the top player on the board for them would be probably Will Johnson, corner for Michigan.
Yeah.
And offensive guard, Tyler Booker from Alabama.
And, with Brock Purdy, that offensive line, and George Kittle, it feels like offensively they've got that in the bag, aside from maybe a little bit of the line. And looking at the board where it stands right now,
they can refresh the corner position.
It almost feels like you need a new guy, a young kid, willing to put it all on the line.
I buy that.
And then Cowboys rolling up makes it interesting.
Cowboys rolling up, and there's Genty.
There's Genty
from Frisco.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, that's where so he's a local boy there. Yeah. They haven't done this since Zeke, but we know that Brian Schottenheimer wants to run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would be shocked if they didn't take the Boise State running back here. So we'll see what happens.
We'll go ahead and put him to Dallas to make things interesting.
Yep.
Remember, people, this is just a way too early
mock
draft.
Way too early.
Just having some fun with it.
Yep. Malachi Starks from Georgia.
Yeah.
Safety. We know that the Dolphins have defensive needs.
Yes.
They have some O-line needs, but Starks is too good at safety from Georgia not to take here at 13.
Yeah, completely agree. You can just chalk that up to the Dolphins. That defense needs a little bit of help. You know, not exactly what they wanted last year, given also Tua getting hurt. You know, that just puts your season into a blender at that point.
Yep. Colts are up at 14. Tight end, safety, cornerback, offensive center, and offensive guard. Every mock I have done has Tyler Warren from Penn State, the tight end, going to the Colts.
Completely agree.
And I didn't realize it until Logan said it, that he even wears the same number that Dallas Clark wore, 44.
Yeah, so go ahead and chalk that up.
Yep.
I mean, that feels like a safe pick. You get some good blocking, and on top of it, you know, Mo Alley Cox can only do so much over there in Colts land.
Yeah.
They need someone else.
Falcons are up, cornerback, edge, safety, receiver, tight end.
Receiver's crazy, given they still have Kyle Pitts and they have what was his name that we liked a lot last year?
Yeah, the receiver.
Yeah,
the new guy.
I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they got two good receivers.
Yeah,
even with Luther Burden the third there, I can't really see them going wide receiver.
Yeah,
it feels like they need some trench help / defensive help.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, just looking at what they need, of course, based on who's available. I don't know.
That's a rough one.
That is. I mean, do they just
safety? Yeah, go ahead.
Do they just take the top wide receiver?
They might. They might go with the put another playmaker in there.
Yeah, because Pitts, I wouldn't say has been disappointing, but for whatever reason, Falcons quarterbacks are just not getting him the ball.
They really aren't.
Oh God, this is tough.
Yeah.
Luther Burden.
Let's go with it.
For the sake of argument.
Yep. All right, we move on to the Cardinals. Edge, offensive guard, wide receiver, D tackle, and linebacker. And really all those positions, most of them are readily here available.
I almost say take the offensive guard.
From Alabama?
Yeah.
Tyler Booker? I think so too.
Is it Kyler Murray that's had a couple ankle injuries?
I think so.
Really minuscule, but there.
Yep.
And of course, then that screws over the Bengals if they want an offensive guard, so that makes even more sense.
Exactly. Cornerback, so we have Cincinnati on the board.
Yeah.
Cornerback, offensive guard, D tackle, tight end, and offensive center. You know, there's a part of me that thinks Cincinnati is thinking receiver here because T. Higgins is probably gone.
I don't think he's gone.
You think he's coming back?
I think he stays.
Okay.
I think he's going to look to what Tyler Boyd did.
Yeah.
And you know, he gets paid on the Titans.
Yeah.
And it's just terrible. Goes to a terrible situation because he not maybe chased the bag, but wanted to get paid.
That makes some sense.
And every team has enough money to pay whatever player they want because the salary cap is hypothetical, and you just kick it down the road.
Yeah.
Taysom Hill had what deal the other like a few years ago, or it was like
insane.
Yeah, it's clearly just a way to kick the can down the road.
Yeah.
I think Bengals fans riot if this is not an offensive lineman to some extent.
Yeah, I
don't know.
You're thinking of lineman?
I'm almost thinking Amon Membu.
Yep, from
and you
Missouri.
know, they move people around as needed.
And some of these tackles from college are better suited as a guard. You know, and it anyway. I don't know what Cincinnati's position right now with tackle is, but maybe this guy slides inside and plays guard, right?
But also, linebacker would make sense because
Jalen Walker.
They're gonna have to make some changes on defense.
He's a beast, 6'4" and like 243, can cover running backs. You know, at least a short distance out of the backfield. Swing passes, you could go that way too.
Now, just to keep this spicy, since we already have JNT going to the Cowboys, let's have the Bengals take Jalen Walker.
All right.
Only because they will have to fix that defense.
Let's no doubt.
If that defense stays the same, I riot.
It's going to be a problem.
As a Chargers fan, I riot because that was just abysmal last year.
We got the Seahawks drafted at 18. They need edge, offensive tackle, offensive guard, quarterback, and safety. And we either go Armand Membow, offensive tackle, Missouri, or we probably go Nick Amanawari from safety from South Carolina.
Ain't got no worries with him. Oh, man.
What do you think, tackle?
Probably.
All right. Let's go with best of the need on the available board there.
I like it.
All right. Buccaneers at 19. Edge, linebacker, corner, safety, wide receiver. And we've got some of all that available here. So maybe we go Matt Golden from Texas, wide receiver.
I like that.
He's
fits.
the best player available, too.
I mean, after Mike Evans gets hurt, you kind of see, maybe not fall apart, but also, was it Godwin got hurt for the entire season?
They had a lot of trouble with receivers dropping, so I could see them beefing that up a bit.
Without a doubt. And who better to learn behind than Godwin and Mike Evans?
Yeah, no doubt.
For the love of God.
We got Denver up. Denver needs tight end, running back, receiver, linebacker, and corner. And we're a little bit thin in terms of the position here.
Yeah.
Highest rated position is Colson Loveland, a tight end from Michigan.
Yeah.
Wide receiver from Ohio State.
Yeah.
EE.
Yeah. There you go. God, I don't know. That's kind of tricky because defensively, the Broncos had that one kid that I don't know if they drafted last year, but he was an absolute demon.
Yeah.
On getting to the quarterback. But, they do need some offensive help, without a doubt.
They do.
Lost Jerry Jeudy last year midseason. I think that was what happened to the Browns. Oh, man.
Did we go tight end?
Yeah.
Wide tight end?
I think we got the top of the board tight end.
All right. Colson Loveland from Michigan.
Yep.
On his way to Denver land.
Exactly.
All right, so now we have the Steelers up. Steelers looking for quarterback, cornerback, wide receiver, tackle, and guard on the O-line.
Yep.
So I could see them going Josh Simmons from Ohio State.
Yeah.
And I could see them going wide receiver from Ohio State. I could see it being one of those two.
Yeah, I mean, you think about George Pickens.
Yeah.
Volatile he was last year.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of think about some of the other stuff they have going on between Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, which it sounds like Justin Fields will be the one they go with.
That's what it sounds like.
And they'll
kick
kick Russell to the side.
I don't know how their line did as far as protecting last year.
I can't remember. But I also remember the Steelers-Chargers game week 3.
Yeah.
And they beat the shit out of the Chargers. So, and that was early, of course. But
let's have them go Josh Simmons, tackle.
I like that.
I don't know why I think that could be the pick there.
Why not?
All right. We have the Chargers on the board. Cornerback, D tackle, center, receiver, running back. And we have a lot of those talents on the board right now, including Derek Harmon, D tackle from Oregon, highly regarded.
Yeah.
Siobhan Ravel, cornerback from East Carolina. And we also have Emeka Egbuka from wide receiver from Ohio State.
I love that. I would just go Derek Hammond.
Go with the defensive tackle?
Yeah, knowing who's there now in the front office, including Harbaugh, they're going to want to build those trenches up more because they'd probably lose Bosa and re-sign, oh my God. What's his name? 52 on the Chargers. Malik. Khalil
Mack.
Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yep. All right, we have the Packers at 23.
Yeah.
Corner, edge, receiver, defensive tackle, and center. Could this be a place for Siobhan Ravel at cornerback?
Yeah, because they probably lose Jair Alexander.
Yeah, right.
So I would probably say Siobhan Ravel.
All right, let's go D.
Vikings.
The Vikings, cornerback, D tackle, safety, guard, and running back.
Well, we got there.
Our no worry.
Yeah.
Safety from South Carolina, Nick Imanowori.
It feels almost too easy at that point. This feels like part of the draft that might just go by quick.
Very well could. All right. Now we are down to the the Texans.
Yes, sir.
Guard, defensive tackle, receiver, offensive tackle, and linebacker. And we have from Ohio State.
Egbuka has fallen at this point down to 25.
Would we pair him with his Ohio State quarterback?
I think so. I think it makes sense, and I feel like at that point Justin Fields might be, lobbying for that.
And they're going to pick up another offensive talent. Great.
Yeah.
The Texans, right?
Diggs could be gone, potentially.
Right.
We kind of heard some rumblings.
Yeah, it sounds like he is going to depart there, isn't it?
And if you have the chance, that tandem's pretty dangerous. You see what Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and I think a couple other players have done where it's just like it didn't skip a beat.
Yep. Now we have the Rams at 26.
Now that's interesting. That's a hard one knowing Stafford might also be gone at this point.
There's a lot of moving parts there.
Yeah, who knows if there's some crazy three-way deal there, but
linebacker, offensive tackle, corner, wide receiver, and quarterback. Benjamin Morrison, corner from Notre Dame, is the highest on the board.
Yeah.
There's also Cameron Williams, the offensive tackle from Texas. So there's a couple of possibilities there.
With this given position, where do you think they'd go? I'm going to let you have this one.
Their defense was pretty good, actually. Their corners were pretty good.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go.
Jalen Verse.
Yeah. And I think even their secondary was young and good, too. I think I'm going to go offensive tackle from Texas, okay. Cameron Williams.
Yeah. Got to beef that up.
Whoever's going to be the QB.
Keep him happy.
Got to keep him upright. Yep.
Yeah. Alive.
Yes. All right. Ravens, 27. Offensive tackle, corner, guard, linebacker, and receiver. Benjamin Morrison.
Yeah, probably. Trying to remember what the Ravens really struggled with last year.
It's hard to remember, isn't it?
It is specifically. I looked at the defenses every week, every ranking, and trying to remember what tore them apart because they had people like Kyle Van Noy.
Yeah.
That would just get to the quarterback.
There's just such a mental thing.
They have some bad juju going on over there. Those Baltimore fans will never let them forget for the last 2 years.
And they get in those certain moments in big games, and it doesn't work. I don't know what it
Flowers
is.
fumble. Mark Andrews drops 2 different catches.
Oh, Lord.
It's just unfortunate.
That was against the Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Both of them were, actually.
Good grief.
So, yeah, maybe, looking at it, Benjamin Morrison.
Yeah, let's do that. Corner.
Just 'cause.
Yep. All right, now we have the Lions.
Now, with the Lions, new coordinators, Dan Campbell's back. Everyone should be healthy for next year.
Yeah, I mean, and this is a deep draft in D lineman, especially at tackle.
Yeah.
Cornerback, tackle, edge, offensive guard, receiver.
And they had a lot of different corners do really well, and they had a couple corners do really bad.
Yeah. So, I don't know. We've got to
be thinking some sort of defense here.
Yeah. We've got the top-rated players, Nick Sorenton, edge from Texas A&M, and then we have 3 D tackles
following that.
Right after that, one from Michigan, one from Ohio State, and one from Ole Miss.
They had young corners that did really well. I can't remember them exactly, but they traded up last year, I think, to get them both.
Yeah.
They got one and then traded up for the second guy. I almost think Nick Scorton.
Let's do that.
Just because he's, at this point, fallen more than intended.
Yeah.
And
highest rated player on the board yet.
Pair it with, what's his name, Aiden Hutchinson.
Yep. All right, we have the Commanders at 29. Offensive tackle, receiver, edge, corner, and linebacker. And what do we see? We have Mike Green from Marshall listed on there.
Yeah.
Highest.
A bunch of defensive tackles.
Yep. I don't know if Jonathan Allen will be back or not.
That's true. That's a good point.
Assuming that he does come back, probably go edge.
So yeah, go Mike Green, just for sake of argument.
Let's do that. All right, the Buffalo Bills, who just came up short against the Chiefs, right?
Yeah, I'm trying. So
brutal.
Yes, without a doubt.
Corner, safety, edge, receiver, and center. Jahdae Barron, the safety from Texas, or Xavier Watts, the safety from Notre Dame, are the 2 highest players needed by them.
After watching that Notre Dame-Ohio State game, probably have to go with Texas.
Yeah, I agree.
Go with Barron, I guess.
Yep, totally.
Just assuming they're not looking at all at defensive tackle.
Yep, totally agree with you. Chiefs, brutal. Super Bowl. D tackle, offensive guard, receiver, offensive tackle, and tight end.
Now, do you see a world where the Lions traded with either one of these teams to get another safety?
The Lions?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, actually, for this mock draft, we won't propose those just yet, just to keep it more vanilla. But
we got 3 defensive tackles.
If I'm looking at this, if I'm the Eagles, I'm giving up that pick for anything because you don't need D tackles, safeties.
You're talking about
later on.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Just explain
coming up next.
Process.
Yeah, sure.
But Chiefs, yes. Sorry, not to cut you off.
No, you're good. So offensive line is definitely down here.
Yeah,
we know the offensive line was a real problem.
Yep. Protect Patrick Mahomes is a pretty big thought.
Yep. I don't think their defensive line was really the problem in the game.
It didn't feel like it. There was plenty of other issues, but Patrick Mahomes was running for his life.
Do they
reach for an offensive tackle, you think?
I don't know. That's pretty far down there, isn't it?
Only 5-6 picks in the whole scheme of things. Why not?
Let's do it. Let's fix that offensive line. And I find this funny because it says the Eagles need defensive tackle. Didn't look like it.
No, maybe they're thinking someone leaves.
Yeah.
But
so Eagles linebacker, edge, offensive guard, D tackle, and receiver. And I mean,
it's hard to think of what part of the Super Bowl they lacked in.
Yeah. Was there one?
Can you draft a kicker in the first round?
Yeah, right. I would say, to me, Tyleik Williams, defensive tackle from Ohio State, way at the top. One of those three tackles, Walter Nolan, Kenneth Grant from Michigan. Maybe Jihad Campbell, the linebacker from Alabama.
Yeah, maybe.
So I'd say probably either Williams, the D tackle from Ohio State, or Campbell, the linebacker from Alabama. Probably go with Williams.
Yeah, that works. Highest in the draft. He's fallen at this point.
Yep.
In our draft.
And there's our full results of our first round.
Yes. I'll have you screenshot that or download it and send it to me later. But
all right.
Yeah. No. I haven't showed up here right now, but just our thoughts.
Just a first go.
Yeah. First official Coy Pond mock draft of the season.
Yeah.
As per always, we'll be releasing Kevin's final one as we get closer, whatever Thursdays before that.
Sure.
But yeah.
Always fun.
Always a blast. You got to get some early mock drafts in as the combine heats up. And you know what? Why not, while we're showing you what we have on our mock draft, go over some of the more funny combine names this year.
Love it.
Now, I had only gotten through a very small portion of the combine at this point for names.
Yep.
We'll do a part 2. But some of the best names I saw, Jeremy Crawshaw, punter from Florida. I thought Crawshaw was an amazing last name. Robert Longerbeam.
That's
from Rutgers. Longerbeam.
My.
Yeah, no, hey, kudos to Robert.
That's lovely.
O'Donnell Fortune from South Carolina, defensive back. I thought that was, you got lucky the Irish with Fortune at the end of it.
Yeah.
How could you not be poetic about it?
Oh, my.
Kobe Bryant with C-O and 2 E's at the end of the first name. Pretty good. Danny Stutzman. I don't know why. Something about Stutzman. That sounds exciting.
Yes.
Sounds like he should be going airborne against the Eagles to try and stop the tush push.
And Danny's a linebacker.
Yes,
yeah.
He is a linebacker.
Oklahoma, I think.
Yep. Carson Schwezninger.
UCLA?
Yes.
Linebacker.
Yep. And then, bam, Martin Scott.
Martin Scott.
It's Martin Scott with a hyphen, and bam is his first name.
Did you already say Cam?
No.
Okay.
His name is Bam Martin Scott.
There's another one. I think it's Cam Scatterbo.
Yes, I saw him.
That one?
I've heard him a few times. I can't remember what team he's from, but and that's just skimming the surface.
Yeah.
I've barely made it through the entire combine list.
Oh, those are some lovely ones right there.
But that is a phenomenal list for only getting through 3 positions technically: specialty, defensive backs, and linebackers.
I love it.
But I'll hit them more next week. It's been a chaotic week, and you know what? We're gonna get through it one way or another.
Right on.
Nevertheless, let us know what you thought about our first mock draft. Obviously, it was a hive mind grouping between the two of us. And I think that's going to do it for us this week.
Perfect.
Hope everyone has a great week. Stay safe, and we will see you all next Thursday for episode 69 of the Coy Pond.
Ooh.
Nice. Have a great week.